specialist crew, a beacon of light, for work to unravel secrets entwined. Law with her care and lust for life, turning the cogs in her curious mind. Scales that tell stories of times long past. Deep in the echo, her interest is cast. Starborne Melody echoes in the deep, an ancient history, now our secrets to keep. Sail on a siren with feathers adorned, seeks to maintain her graceful form. A voice that weaves tales across the sky, relaying the dreams that never die. Renick the brain with numbers and might, 4 arms, 4 eyes in the cosmic night. Stoic and with numerical grace, in Lockstitch's crew he has found his place. Starborne Melody echoes in the deep, an ancient history, now our secrets to keep. Pollux and Castor, the skillful pair, always the team with starry hair, with a bond so strong in the vast expanse, unveiling the secrets in cosmic dance. Starborne Melody echoes in the deep, an ancient history, now our secrets to keep. Starborne Melody echoes in the deep, an age-old mystery, and Lockstitch holds the key.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to episode 19 of this, our 4th season. Today's, before we get started with the game, I did make a couple new cards today because I really, enjoy the Captain's Order stuff, and I like giving you guys, like, extra little missions. So there are 2 new cards. One is a liaison, and that is, there is somebody, if you play that card, in the game, there will be an NPC. We will give you clues as to what they look like or like how they act, and then you have to role play going up to them and giving them a secret message from Arcana. They will then give you something, and the game can continue on. You don't need to really involve them in a ton of stuff. Treasure map. That's right. Yeah, play it ahead of the game. And with that, you will get a spy type item from Arcana. Like and I think Arcana is going to be the one that makes the items that you are getting, but they are going to be spy related. Alternatively, there's a card called an Adventure that turns the zaniness of the game up by a decent level. So like I know how like we all of our games are a little silly, whimdark, or like just full of whimsy as we like. That will turn the whatever game you're playing into basically a Tomb Squad game, where like Hammer space exists. Like you guys get all the weirdness that we can do, but it's weird and like it is dangerous in its own ways. But that one, if we're playing like a game of gargoyles, that'll turn it straight into a game of Looney Tunes real fast. And yeah, and those are the 2 new cards. So like, also, if you get them, please let me know when you're playing them, what game you're playing them on, so that I can plan accordingly. And I will get to introducing the players. Oh, shit, my bad. Recap real quick. So, right now, we're getting back to work. If you guys are still partying in Lydian, get out of there. Like, you're being called home. Like, shit to do. So, everybody out of Lydian. If you're out on an expedition and stuff, we're wrapping that stuff up, including, I've already talked with Soki about it. He is going to be wrapping up that magical thing by Sunday because he needs to get back. So, like, you guys are all being called home. Either Haven or Lockstitch, whichever one that you are, like, working out of, get back there. Then all of your role play has been, like, worked through. I think if I'm missing any of your role play, let me know. I know I'm missing Krieg's, but that gets done today. During this game. Get out of Lydian. Also, you guys can't sleep there. It's going to be driving you crazy. Anyway, so Arthur and Vidra, right? Did I say that?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Arthur and Vidra have been looking up black market dealings in Null Metal. A lot of you in the Seam Guard have been investigating the qualities of Null Metal. They've been investigating who is using it. And they have been made aware of a big deal happening today in the Clove Cove, which is in Alkali. Now, if you go into a deal, you have to bring Krieg. And if you go into the Cove, you have to bring Ento. So, that is where we are. And now I'll introduce everybody. Okay, so we have Krieg, played by Toast.
Hello there.
And we got Arthur, played by Will.
Hello.
We got Ento, played by Corey.
Howdy.
And we got Vidra, played by Fee.
Hola.
Everybody. And we're just, like, with that explanation, I'm just going to, like, get us right here. While, like, in a little boat. Like, sailing to the cove. Now, Ento, you have been made aware by Pym and the other Wayweavers that the Clove Cove is currently locked up, gated up. And they're not letting anybody in. Also, because of how successful they've been, there is a new person on the board that is consolidating all of the smaller pirate crews into one massive fleet. Like, he is known as the hammer that shapes the hull, and I think it's just, we call him, instead of calling him Hammer, we call him Shaper. He is a big, imposing fella. The last time that we've heard of him, he's like a 12-foot tall fox man that carries an absolute gargantuan warhammer and wears a broken crown. And
Quick question.
Yeah, go for it.
Me and a few other people invented our own pirate gang a few weeks ago. Is that a problem? Do I have to?
Oh, it stands up pretty good. You don't want to be seen as one of those pirate guys, but you were not dressed as Krieg at that time, so.
Okay. I just remembered that pirates, so I wanted to double check.
Yeah, absolutely. You're still good. What were you wearing that day? I know two of you were wearing jerseys.
Well, I was wearing I think it was the Bobbert homeless getup.
That's right. You were just wearing a t-shirt again. Salad. All right. So you guys, the folks of Alkali would have given you this boat to use perfectly fine, like at Turmeric's outpost, and you guys could have sailed down here. Like, we don't have to worry about the sub. This and this ship is not marked as an enemy to the Shaper or these pirates. You guys are just traveling on a normal vessel right now.
Nondescript.
Yeah, nondescript, I would say. Arthur, can you roll me a 20-sider? No, wait, no, you guys already succeeded. Like, you got a mixed success, but then Vidra succeeded. So the two of you got this information, and I'm not sure like how Arthur got it wrong and then Vidra got it right. You guys can tell me if you want to.
Well, I mean, the fact is, Vidra is really the brains of our operation. They may not always be willing to admit it, but they oftentimes catch things with their camera that we miss in the moment.
Careful review.
Yep.
Careful review is a very good way of explaining that to me. So yeah, your successful roll, Vidra, tells you that like the Shaper is in town today, like is in the cove, like, and it's the reason that it's been locked off for a while, because when he's in there, people don't come or go unless they have direct business with him.
Okay.
And he has, yeah, your roll was pretty good, right?
I believe it was a 14.
Yeah, 14's all right. So it's a success. You don't get all the information, but you get some of it. Like, he is selling a massive amount of magical items to a group of people from the side of the world known as Virtuoso. Virtuoso is above Bone Meal. Like, so it's north from where you are now, I think is the best way to say that. And they are meeting with a group of people from a city called Dactyloid. And with a 14, you will learn the name of the organization that they are selling it to, but not much more. Unless you guys know, unless your characters have been there, and at which point you guys can say that you have been there, because you two at least are from this world. And Ento has memories from this world. And that is, they are meeting with the Thumb. So once you guys get in town, what you're looking for is where the Shaper is and the Thumb, which are a group of dwarves, for the record. You'll definitely have that much knowledge.
Are there many dwarves around?
There are dwarves. You would know this, Vidra, because you're from Holt. Holt is right off of the Silver Mountains, and the Silver Mountains are full of, saying strange dwarves seems rude, but they're kind of weird. They have blue. Yeah, kind of. They all have blue skin, because of the amount of time that they've spent with silver and their manipulation of silver. They're covered in it. They ingest it. They eventually all turn blue. Some of them have magical control over the silver, but that's not a ton of them.
Okay.
And we've definitely seen. Oh, go ahead.
Would just being like, are we in a kind of like gathering of people, or like is there like a market, or is there?
Oh yeah. So before we do that, Ento, how do we get in? And then I'll show you the huge group of people that we're gonna see. But
that is a good question. So Ento's been coming here a lot lately. and he has found that there is an unguarded like sluice gate that
Absolutely. Go ahead.
just kind of lifts right up, as if it was already built for smuggling things in and out of the city.
Do you need a hand getting that up?
Yeah, come over and help me with this.
I mean, I like the water, so I'll come over and help. I'll just make sure that all of my camera equipment and such is being safely guarded in the boat.
You need
I'll
to make
hold it
sure you're
up.
not allergic to anything in there.
Hmm? What?
I was asking Ento if we needed to check to see if there's anything in there that he's allergic to.
Oh, Ento's not really allergic to anything anymore since he is now more pirate than doctor because of all the things that have
Nice.
happened.
Double checking.
And I'll hold all of the camera equipment just to make sure that it stays dry and above the water.
Yeah, for
Very much
sure.
appreciated.
Vidra, when you jump into the water, you do notice that somebody is aware of this sluice gate. Somebody has chained it closed. Not like almost like a half-hearted effort, though.
Is it more like trying to obscure the fact that it's usable?
I think so. Can you roll me a 20-sider?
Mhm.
16. Absolutely. When you get down there, you realize that, and you're an otter, so swimming around in this cold water is like nothing to you. It's fine.
Precisely.
And you see the fact that the chain is really just wrapped around two things. It looks imposing from a distance, and if you tried to move it, it wouldn't move easily, but you can just simply unwrap this with no
Mhm.
problem. And attached to the chain is what can only be described as a Jolly Roger of it's like a beetle insect head with like the mandibles, but one of the mandibles is broken off, and it has a vertical cutlass at the horizontal cutlass, not like two cutlasses crossed across each other, but one cutlass underlining the beetle skull.
Do I recognize the symbol at all?
Do you think that you've studied pirates?
Not really. Not yet. They're fascinating, and I might want to do a documentary later.
Then I don't think you immediately recognize this one.
Gotcha.
But yeah, and you can simply untangle this and then lift it up, and then you guys are free to go through. There was no lock. It was just a bunch of wrapping.
I'm going to show it to my companions and ask if they know anything about it.
Ento does, but we can RP that if you guys want to. Ento, this is the Jolly Roger of the beetle guy that you intimidated. The last time you were here, the guy that had full control over the city.
Yeah.
This is his gangs, and you can see on the back of it it has I don't want to say that it's SOS, but it is an SOS. It is a warning that Ento would be able to recognize. This was put here for Ento to find.
Gotcha. Okay. So I relay all of that information to my my friends here, and I say we really need to be cautious with this one.
Noted.
What do you know?
I don't know a lot, but I know that this symbol is someone that I have met before, and we have a mutual respect. but it also is warning us of some unknown danger.
All right. Keep our eyes peeled and our heads about us.
Definitely. I reach into my pockets and slide my brass knuckles onto my left fist.
Can I have the golden sword at my hip?
Absolutely. You all about to sneak into a pirate town? Are you going in dressed as is, or you guys got disguises?
I'm assuming we're going for disguises.
I'm
When in
assuming
Rome.
fitting in.
I'll go for disguises. Love disguises.
I love it. Which becomes my favorite part of the game. Describe your disguise to me.
So I think the only pirate I openly know would be Pym. So I probably just raided her wardrobe one time while she was busy at the party.
So Krieg is just dressed like Pym, like exactly dressed like Pym, like literally wearing Pym's outfit.
Well, some of it was too big, so I had to pick and choose what I wore because obviously she's probably twice the size I am. So
Well, like on the same page that this is like Krieg's glow up, right? Like Krieg is just gonna be like his new art is just gonna be him dressed like Pym.
we're all baggy clothes, and if it fits right, and strike on the ground.
I'm gonna like just kind of cinch things up with at least like a sash kind of belt so that it's not like falling off of him.
Nice, thank you.
Like, no, you need a little help.
What? Oh, it looks fine. It's gonna get dirty. It's not mine. I mean, it's mine.
But the pants need to stay up, dude.
Fine. Got a belt in here somewhere. Just gonna take that bandana and then use it as a belt because it's probably big enough for one.
Ento is fully aware that none of those are his.
I'm not gonna say anything if Ento looks over. It's like, okay, it's not touching the ground. Everything's correct. It'll be fine. No one will recognize me whatsoever.
Ento's also fairly sure that Pym has so many clothes that she will never even realize they are gone.
The perfect crime.
Right? It's a
I'm also
victimless
found
crime.
these in the wilderness. I got 2 horns. Just like Pym does, except I don't have the ears. So it's just 2 horns on top of my head.
So you found antlers?
Yeah.
Whose?
I don't know. Some
What?
monsters.
Yeah, sold. Okay. Arthur, what does a noir detective pretending to be a pirate look like? Oh, sorry. What does the noir orc detective pretending to be a pirate look like?
So, like, I figure, like, Arthur knows that people will oftentimes just see a big dude when they see him, and so he's going to lean into that. So he's going to be dressed sort of as a deckhand type, whose job is basically just carry shit around. So he's dressed in basically just a white shirt with horizontal black stripes on it. He's got a straw hat to keep the sun off of his face, and then just a pair of like white sailor's trousers. Like he's just basically he's basically thinking he's basically dressed as muscle.
Oh, for sure. Okay, so we've got Krieg dressed as the because Pym, her role on a pirate ship is the lookout. She's always up in the crow's nest. Arthur is the crew's muscle. Vidra, what part of the crew does your character fill?
Mostly the one that goes around fixing everything. So like practical pants that are easy to move in, that don't like fall off when I'm trying to scurry under parts of like the boat, parts of the mechanics, like anything that would need to be tinkered with. And so kind of like my normal kind of jumpsuit thing, but like when with the top kind of down and like tied around my waist, and not too flowy but not too conspicuously not flowy top, and a sash to keep everything together.
Love it. So Ento, does that make you the captain of this crew?
I guess it does.
Is Ento going in as himself, or are you pretending to be a different pirate?
I feel like Ento is fairly recognizable, even if he is trying to blend in. For the rest of the party, Ento doesn't really look like his picture anymore because of things that happened.
Yeah, we're gonna update that.
Yeah.
Don't you worry.
He definitely got a lot more like buff, and like he's still got the doctor's coat on, but it doesn't have sleeves anymore. And then so I think like Ento like last minute is like, oh crap, I should probably put on a disguise of some sort too, and he just puts on an eye patch. Like they'll never know.
It's just like it's not like you open in the main gate. They're just gonna think you guys have been here, because then we arrive in town, and it is all the streets are very crowded with every sort of like. You guys know the scene of the pirates in Pirates of the Caribbean where they voted on a king and stuff, and you saw like all of the thousands of kinds of pirates and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
That's what we're seeing here. That is what this city is. Like it's a lawless place, but there are rules that people do tend to follow. But Ento, this is going to be new to you. Hanging from like many lines across, and it's not shown nearly enough. You see banners of other pirate crews that you've known them. Some of these have been existing since well longer than you were before you were even a pirate. Are ripped up and like with a single hole burnt through the center of them by what looks like about the size of a cannonball shot, and you know that in this city's pirates, that is the sign of that is utmost disrespect. And like there are dozens of these little flags all like burnt out like this.
The hammer guy, we're calling him the Shaper.
The Shaper.
Okay. Yeah, this isn't good. I have a feeling that the Shaper is not
Making
someone
waves.
we're going to be able to just talk things through with.
What do we know about the Shaper's motives?
So, what the Wayweavers and our spy teams have discovered is he is looking to consolidate all pirate power under one large group. Like, he wants to rule all of them. And above all, it seems that he wants the destruction of the 7 pirate queens. He wants to destroy them completely.
Which would explain why he's begun amassing Null Metal. So it seems to me then that he is our buyer. We want to find out who his seller is.
Absolutely. Krieg, when you heard about this plan and obviously contacted your contacts, did you learn anything? Oh, sorry, what did you roll with that with your RP one?
I didn't actually. I can do that right now.
Oh yeah, just go ahead and roll it in here, and we
Okay.
will see it on stream. And this is for your RP roll. Oof. Okay. Krieg did bad.
Owie.
That's okay.
So, I think Krieg, what you've because we said that the failures are not they're not bad for you, they're just dead ends. So nobody dealing in the silver thimble deals with these people. You've heard of the dactyl before, you've heard of the thumb before. But some people have heard of the thumb, but they won't talk about them. So all you know is that they are feared.
Are there any little like hidey holes or maybe like tables or stalls or anything where there's a place I could covertly just kind of take wide shots, like photographs or anything that I could document and we could make sure that we could observe later if we can't observe everything right now?
Absolutely. Go ahead and give me a 20-sider. Let's see how that turns out. Oof.
Not very well.
That's a little rough. So I think you get seen. You guys go look for a hidey hole, and Ento, like this isn't the bar you were in last time. The bar you were in last time is down by the harbor. This is not a new bar, not a new building, but a new bar. It used to be something else before it was clearly taken over, and there are banners hung everywhere. But this time, these banners are all in celebration. They each have the anvil, a pair of tongs, and a hammer. Like the anvil's like where a skull would be on a normal Jolly Roger, but then it's tongs and a hammer instead of crossbones. That is the Shaper's Jolly Roger, and each other flag in here are obviously allies of him or like work under him. And like this is a bar and everybody's like cheering to each other. And Vidra, you're getting some pretty good pictures of people that like to add to dossiers. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And figuring out like where people are. But then to do this woman comes in and she's just like her presence is quieting everybody around. And she just, you can see for a second her left eye starts like tearing up, but the tear itself is it's illuminated, like it's blue. And then she like clears it away really quickly, and she like her eyes turn and face you four, and she just starts like walking forward with a purpose.
You stash the camera.
I'm going to see if like she's wearing any insignia that matches any of the banners in the bar.
I'm gonna go climb on top of Ento.
Make yourself big.
Takes notes.
I'm just gonna stand in the back, hands behind my back, just kind of at attention, ready in case something breaks out. But I'm not gonna start anything.
She looks at the four of you. She especially looks at Ento. Around her neck, you can see an anvil, and it looks heavy. The way that it swings on the chain around her neck, the way that like when she leans forward and it bounces back, you can hear it like she's getting punched in the chest by this thing. She looks at the four of you, and she looks at Ento, and she's just like. And she looks at all four of you, her eyes going over Ento once more, and then she's just, who leads this crew?
That would be me.
You've stepped foot in a very specific bar for me not to know you. Are you here to swear allegiance?
It might be that we are.
Excellent. And what do you bring as an offering to the Shaper? How will you fill our hole?
Like, what does she mean by offering?
So Krieg before had to steal 4 motorcycles and give them to her.
Ah.
What was the last thing I stole? Maybe I can. I
was
mean,
gonna say,
borrowed.
do we have anything on us right now, guys?
You guys can have whatever you want.
I got my car keys.
Let's see.
Hmm.
Well, since I was recently in Pim's apartment, is there anything that might have been in there I could have absconded with that I can hand over?
You just want straight steal from Pim.
That's the last place I was. That's the last place I can think of.
Hold on, let me get Pim's character sheet in here so I can.
Nothing like sentimental or anything, of course. Just, like stuff she has lying around she's not going to use. I'll leave one of my famous IOUs.
She's got an abyssal brand, Belle's charismatic contour, which is it's a magical shape-shifting garment. She has a bag of cats. She has red cap fangs. She has a morning star called the Eternal Radiance. She has a lobster pendant that detects anomalies, and she has a Slumber's Embrace, which is a small blackjack that blackjacks.
Other people out.
Yeah, that knock people out.
I have a suggestion.
Okay.
So I look at the fox. Do I know her name or anything like that? She hasn't introduced herself, obviously.
I think you could put the pieces together. You are the world's greatest detective.
Yeah. This is the Shaper, is it not?
No, this is
No.
Ferris.
Ferris. Okay.
This Ferris, she is the Shaper's enforcer.
Got it. So I look at her and I say, Ferris, it strikes me that the one thing that your boss needs and would benefit from is branding. and an image and a story to tell, overthrowing, this hierarchy of pirates and creating a new one. That is something that's going to require more than just raw muscle or magical might. It's going to require you to tell a story. You're going to need to have something that people latch onto. You'll need some soft power. My associate here is one of the world's foremost documentarians, and I gesture at Vidra because I assume that they aren't making any efforts to hide their camera. So let's roll with that.
I mean, I did stick it underneath the rolled over. I did say I stowed it, so it's kind of like stuffed in a side pocket. But I can pull it out, and I'm kind of feel a little bit like you've put your hand on my back and pushed me forward.
Let's tell the story of what your boss is doing here, the radical changes that he is enacting, and the way he is radically altering the status quo in ways that aren't just forced but welcomed.
Ah, that's incredibly smart. It's just we could more easily recruit. Those televisions are going all over the world at a ridiculous rate. Much of the Celestial Sea has access to theaters now. We put out a call to all pirates so they don't have to worry about it. We threaten them all at once. This will add to the hull.
You say threat, you could also say you could entice.
An enticement.
A place you could put that.
Honey and vinegar are both things that you can use. I'm just going to throw that out there.
And you four could film this enticement for us.
Absolutely.
Yeah, you'll just need to give us full access to the island. We'll want to get some FaceTime with your boss, hear his side of the story, see what really makes him tick. Really let him show the world who he is.
She nods. And she's like, obviously, full range of the island is yours. Stay out of our buildings. You stay out of the forge. Stay out of the hull. The Shaper has... Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
I will gladly follow your lead and your rules.
It's appreciated. Some here have had a troubling time with it. And she looks out the window, and there is definitely a gibbet swinging out there with a beetle guy with like long antenna. He's like really downtrodden. He's wearing really colorful clothes. But like a skinny beetle person.
Maybe we avoid shooting that on film.
Oh, how will they know? I think she's just like, good. This will be good. She's like, if you need anything, find out at the hull, ask for me. Do not go inside without my express permission.
Understood.
And she's like, get me this as soon as you can. It'll be a grand surprise for the Shaper.
We can do an
for
outline.
an interview. Oh, go ahead.
We can definitely do an outline and kind of plan out how this is all going to go.
She nods. She's like, little interviews of all of the pirates around town and telling how we've made this place so much better for them.
I advise curating which ones of them.
Oh, please. please bring to me all of the ones that might disagree. And she just puts her hand on Vidra's shoulder, and she's like, those are the ones I'm most interested in.
Got it.
He wants to murder them.
Subtext. Doesn't need to be text.
And I presume we will have press passes that advertise your protection so that we may more easily avoid any local entanglements.
She's like, of course. And she reaches into her pocket and pulls out it's an anvil badge, very much like a deputy badge. And it's like, Krieg, immediately. This is solid gold.
Can I just reach out and grab that without moving, since my arms are a little bit longer than normal?
Absolutely.
Perfect.
And she's just like,
It happens faster than most people realize because it just happens to be gold.
And these are heavy. These badges are just like, they're anvils, but they're not like as flat as you would expect. They're significantly more three-dimensional. And she says, those will give you run of the island and run of the cove. If anyone has a problem with what you are doing, you have my full permission. Not anyone that is not also wearing one of these badges has any problem with what you're doing. You have my full permission to take their life.
You hear that, Ento?
I do. Duly noted.
I am very glad I have one of these.
It's like, I look forward to your little video. Now, I've got a meeting to get to. Everyone, have fun. Have a delightful time. It's like, enjoy the cove. As she starts to walk out, she just snatches a bottle of like booze off the counter and is just drinking it as she walks out the back. Her outfit is steampunk desert pirate is how I would describe what she was wearing.
Now that she's gone, I want to ask Ento. It's like, how do you think we can use this badge as a way to? He does the finger quotes, liberate gold from people.
You know what? I think we could.
Yeah, let's do that. I mean, the documentary is important too, but this thing I like. We should
Well, I
do that.
mean, as we're interviewing people, we could require a payment as requested by the shaper
Yeah,
for said interview.
and I can hold on to that for them to give it all in once instead of one at a time. That'd be great.
It's a camera fee, you know.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
They're
Pay
paying for
for-
the film.
I am recording right now, by the way.
We can fix it in post. It'll be fine. Plus, we're pirates. Who cares?
Also, wouldn't anyone who saw this be very disappointed in pirates that weren't trying to get this advantage?
Well, if we did
all-
things by the books, we wouldn't be pirates.
It's all part of the disguise.
All right, where are we off to then? Do we just want to like look around the town, see how everything's happening? You guys do know where the hull is, by the way. It is a large structure in basically the center of town. Like, it is basically unmissable.
Got it.
But there are tons of other shops everywhere.
Well, since Ento's been here before, I would imagine we ask him where it's the best place to go.
Hmm. So what we're trying to find is not going to be in any normal market. I mean, most of the markets here are black market illicit goods, but that's your run of the mill illicit goods. What we're looking for is a little bit more extreme.
I'm already
So,
capturing B-roll.
So
Okay.
it seems
Okay.
to me our best bet is to keep an eye out for the Hammer and Ferris and see if there's a way we can follow uh, their movements through the town because they've got to go somewhere, right? There's a two to this meeting, so if we follow them, they're going to be more conspicuous. There's going to be an envoy, a retinue, whatever. Hell, if we just take a high position and look for where the throngs part, that'll give us a pretty good clue, I bet.
And absolutely. You could just straight up roll for that right now. Like if
Yeah,
just like keeping an eye out. Yeah.
yeah. I'll go
Looking
ahead.
for yeah, because if you're looking for a retinue, you're looking for somebody who's out of place because they're not trading with more pirates.
Yeah.
7. Okay, tough choice. You can very easily find this retinue, and let me just move us right here. All right. So as you guys are like walking around interviewing other pirates, and we could definitely do those interview questions if you guys want to.
Fucking fees.
You see Ferris is at like the top of this building. You see an absolutely mammoth bow next to her that looks like a great bow from Elden Ring. Like that's the kind, like
oh,
she's firing javelins with that thing.
Mm. Very cinematic.
She's up there. It's a compound bow, like it's got a bunch of gears and stuff on it. It looks really cool. But then there's another pirate that's also wearing one of the anvil necklaces, like she has, that is on the side of the door. And then on the other side of the door is he's like 8 foot, 9 foot tall. He's absolutely huge. You can see his hands are swollen and like the fingers have clearly been broken over and over and over again. And he's wearing a fine suit of Krieg. His suit looks like it might be made of gold, and not just like look like it's gold fabric, but that's gold.
Oh boy.
Get a load of Lex Luthor over here.
And he's standing guard on the other side of the door. And these two like are not looking at each other like friends. There's definitely like the red like lasers going between their eyes whenever they like look at each other.
So I'm guessing then that our friend in gold is probably a representative of our black marketeers.
Yeah, I think you would have, yeah, you'd be able to be like, this is the bodyguard for Dactyloid.
All right. So I am going to kind of just see if I can find a spot to skulk relatively inconspicuously and just keep an eye on him and watch his comings and goings.
Absolutely. And while you're doing that, Vidra, who are we interviewing of all of the like tokens on here? Are you interviewing the little beetle guy here, this like burb guy here, or this crab guy here?
Were any of them kind of like singled out, like not in the crowd, but like off to the side or anything?
Yeah, nobody's going near the flamingo guy. Like the bird
Okay.
guy.
I shall attempt to engage him in conversation. And
He's just go ahead.
I'm gesturing to my comrades who might be able to more easily grease some wheels.
Sure, I've talked to flamingo people before. I can do this.
He like looks at you two. It's just as he's like reaching into like a it's like a street food situation. It's like a cone made of wax paper, but it's just a bunch of fried shrimp in there.
I introduce us. Like, we're doing a documentary. Would you like to be interviewed?
It's like, well, what are we doing a documentary on? Pops a bunch of more shrimp into his mouth.
General everything.
Well, I mean, the general everything's a little bit annoying here right now. Just like, they haven't let my captain in days. And it's just like, I want to get out of here. I want to go home.
Who's your captain?
Where's your
The
home?
prestigious... I live in the Vorpal Sea, and my captain is none other than the prestigious Ali Ann.
Tell us
My
more.
new unit, like I was supposed to come here and buy a boat, and they were like, I want a boat, and then they're like, we'll sell you a boat. So I bought a boat, and then they had it like sabotaged. They put an anchor through it, so when I tried to sail away, it ripped in half, and then they still charged me for it.
That sounds terrible.
Wait, they put an anchor through it?
Right? It was just like they said it was just a practical joke, just a funny laugh.
You didn't notice an anchor through it when you were trying to sail away.
I'm not much of a sailor. I've just mostly ridden camels.
How did you get here?
On a camel.
They dropped me. Yeah, the camel dropped me off outside back when they were letting camels in.
Would you consider yourself much of a pirate?
I want to be. Like, it's a real startup. Allianne was just like, hey guys, I've got an idea. People don't want to marry me, so we're gonna rob people. And I was just like, you know what? I'm a little bored. So I
Who
signed
hasn't
up.
been bored before?
Who hasn't been bored?
Is Alien's name big enough that Ento knows who this is, or
He isn't even a pirate.
okay.
Like this guy considers himself part of Allian's crew, but it's totally meaningless.
At this point, I'm just like, well, thank you for your time. Scurries off.
That'll be 25 gold, please.
It's like, oh, no, of course. Commerce. Keep it going. Keep it working. And he like drops the 25 gold into your hand. He's just like,
Thank you for your time.
Oh, you're quite welcome. And it's just like, now have you seen this game over here that they're playing? I think I've learned the strategy. And you see somebody like doing 3-card Monty, and this dude is just like about to lose all his money, for the record.
Flamingo dude?
Oh yeah, he's about to just get scammed out of everything.
Can I tell which one is the correct one so I can tell him which one not to pick? Or can I just watch as he loses all of his money?
You can watch as he loses all of his money because like the person doing it is fleecing him. I just want everybody to see that how gullible this guy is.
Sure. Yeah, this game is pretty cool. Do you mind if I watch?
Absolutely, you're gonna see some real success here. I know the trick of this one.
Okay, I believe in you. You got this one.
And so that's going on as Arthur, you see somebody come out of the meeting hall, the meeting hall, if you will, because you have to now. He's just this little guy. he comes out and he says something to the man in the gold suit, and the man in the gold suit starts heading off, and then he takes his place.
I'm mostly pointing the camera wherever I'm watching and wherever I'm looking. So movement caught my eye, and I'm probably recording that.
Does the new guy who took Lex Luthor's place is he wearing any kind of insignia like the anvil badge, or does he have a similar insignia to the gold dudes?
Very similar to the gold. Like, I think they have embroidered in their pinstripe suits is a little fist.
Got it. Okay.
Are these like commoners or minions, or?
I would say that little guy is a minion, whereas big guy here is definitely a boss.
Okay.
I'm gonna see if I
sorry.
can maybe
Go ahead.
quietly tail the big dude. You need a roll for that?
Yeah, go ahead. And if you guys all want to tail it, we can each roll and then take the highest.
Sure, I'll follow the man made of gold.
2 successes. 3 successes. All 4 of you succeeded. I'm very impressed. So as like you tail him down the street, one sec, let me copy. I didn't know he was going to go down this way. You start following him through a really crowded area, and like you guys are all keeping your distance. Like absolutely none of you have alerted anybody to the fact that you are sneaking behind him, and he does kind of feel out of place. Like he doesn't match the outfit everybody else is wearing. Like he is very ostentatiously walking around in a suit made of gold, and like no, like people are looking like they want to try him, but the second he looks over like at somebody and you can hear his knuckles pop even from where you are following him, like as like everything just cracks in his hand. Everybody's like, nope, you know what, no, we're good, and just clear a space. Like there's a whole like pathway in front of him from just the demeanor he has. But as you're walking by, you hear it's just like, need anything for your ship? We got all the best stuff ripped right out of ships just this morning. As and you guys can look over and see these 2 cat folks wearing what can only be described as what if pilot gear looked a lot more like scuba gear. And they're just like, what you guys need? What you guys need? We've got it. You look like you've got money, pointing at Krieg. We know you do. Look at that outfit. It's fantastic. Cinched at the waist and everything. So like we have in our stock right now a wide variety of goods that could really help out any traveling pirate group. But mostly, and you're going to love this. I know you're going to love this. Look at you. And you see 4 motorcycles lined up. Well, 3 motorcycles and 1 moped.
I'm keeping an eye on where Mr. Goldsuit is going, at least, and I have my camera mostly pointed in that direction, though also observing the rest of the stalls.
That's an impressive haul you've got there.
Oh, most certainly. Got it off this absolute idiot pirate crew the other day in the middle of the desert. These 4 crabs, and then like the 4 crabs are pretty dumb, but then like this other group gave us the motorcycles, and we said we were going to give them to the Shaper, but we didn't give them to the Shaper. We took them and we're going to sell them. Hey,
Nice.
what's that you got there? Pointing at the camera.
It's for a documentary we're doing about pirates. It's for the Shaper.
Oh. You-
We're carrying the
yeah.
message of pirates to everybody. Would you
I'm
like to
pretty
be part
sure
of the documentary?
everything. I'm pretty sure everything you just said is actually been recorded.
It has.
Ha, ha, you won. And this is for the Shaper?
Absolutely.
We talked to
Huh.
the right hand just this morning.
You wouldn't be able to like edit that, would you?
I've been instructed not to.
We can make it worth your while.
Hmm.
How so?
On the record?
It's just, I mean, as long as the record's not for somebody that's gonna break my legs. As this conversation is happening, the Goldman is getting further away.
I'm gonna keep following the man in gold.
Absolutely.
How about this? You give us those three motorcycles, and the 25 gold for the documentary fee, and then we won't tell anyone you just almost screwed over the Shaper. How about that? We'll let you keep the moped though.
It's like I will give it. I need all that film though. It's like I've heard of those things. I don't trust you. I don't trust anybody having it. It all needs to be deleted right now. We're gonna burn it. Not the camera. We'll leave the camera alone. I would never hurt your camera.
I would have some sort of backup, though, device on me that things are being saved to.
Okay. Absolutely. What does that device look like? Like, it can clearly be magical. Like, we can have a magical hard drive. I'm down for that 100%. But is it technological? Is it magical? Is it crystals? Magic words? What?
So I'm gonna say it's like almost like this little black box that gets kept in a side pocket that's inconspicuous, and it kind of mirrors whatever gets recorded. I'm gonna say that's probably a magical things, but it has to be within a range of me. So like if I'm using my camera, it has to be on me in order to save it. But it's mostly for the case of people catching me or trying to coerce me into deleting film. I don't want to do that. I don't want to remove my recording from like existence, but they don't have to know that it still exists in a duplicated form.
Absolutely.
So I make a show of deleting the or well taking the film out and saying, but now you owe me another 25 gold.
Jeez, business in this town lately. It's just really just going up. And like
That's
they
real,
drop
ain't it?
they drop 25 into Krieg's hand and then 25 into Vidra's hand. Krieg, can you roll me a 20-sider?
Yeah.
It's like Krieg is like almost like a gnat is buzzing around your ears right now. Don't worry, like you managed to brush it away just fine. But it definitely felt like something. Like what if a mosquito's buzzing sounded like cha-ching?
I've heard those words before. No idea where they're from, but they still sound amazing. All right, so we're gonna take those motorcycles, and I'm just gonna have you send them to our boat.
It's like there's like absolutely you know the dock's not like open, right now, though. Nobody gets out until after this deal the shape is making.
Yeah, of course.
While you two are having this conversation with them, Ento and Arthur, you two have seen the man in gold heading into this building here. If you guys want to stop him before that, that's perfectly cool. Or you guys can like have a conversation with him inside. Completely up to you.
Let's have a conversation inside. What first of all, can we tell from outside what this building is?
It is a and some people are gonna like say some shit once I say these words. It is basically a library, but that is also a bar.
Okay, a whiskey library. Got it. All right. So yeah, I think it's probably easier to approach him inside.
Well, that building's doomed.
When you get in there, he is already sitting down in a nice comfortable chair with a highball glass as he is going over a book.
I am going to sit down opposite him in the chair on the other side of the sort of sitting area with a tumbler of some brown liquor, something nice. Just gonna kind of raise my glass in sort of a salute to him and take a drink and see if I've piqued his interest at all.
He looks up and he matches the gesture, takes a sip, then looks up again and looks you up and down, like taking in the fact that you are a big guy. And he's just like, they never do have chairs that fit folks like us, do they? He looks over at Ento and also sees Ento's just jacked physique coming out of his coat and his clothes. He's like, or coats, I suppose. And
Yeah, we're all just kind of sitting here with our knees up to our chins. Just like there's nothing funnier than big dudes in tiny chairs. So yeah, I'm just like, I know it's our lot in life. That and reaching things off of shelves for short people.
you have no idea how frustrating that is for me. Do you know, like, being our size in this city is impressive. But being this size from Dactyloid, I'm twice as big as the average person. Easily. Those dwarves did not build those towers for me.
Were you originally from Dactyloid, or did you move there?
Born and bred from the slums of the Pinky. Fought my way out of it. You might have heard of me. I'm a little bit well known in some circles. I'm the Fury.
Is that what your mom called you, or do you make that one up yourself?
And like as he laughs, like his top button goes flying across the room and like hits the wall right next to your head. And like it didn't seem like it could possibly have been planned that he just flexed his button as a bullet. But you're not sure when you look at him again.
I go, well, you can call me Arthur. I'm I'm here on business. What about you? What brings you to this cove?
The Thumb have dealings with this Shaper, and they are scared to leave their city. So terrified of magic. It's just like you can just punch everything. I don't know why you're concerned. But no, I'm a bit of an escort group. I got them here, but they seem safe, and That shaper has security on lock. So
Yeah,
you guys pirates?
you know, what is a pirate? Really, but one who lives outside of laws. And, in my experience, laws are fungible. Laws don't really do much except enforce this certain status quos, and I choose to live outside of those. So yeah,
Yeah.
that's what makes me a
The,
pirate.
the, the dwarves have been dealing with some, like, Bureaumancer type magic. They don't like magic. They don't like magic, but that's a magic that makes them money, so they're fans of it. And don't even get me started. They're talking about non-fungible, like, bars of metal. I think they started calling them bits. I don't know what's going on with them.
Ah, I see they've gotten into fiat currencies.
Ridiculous. And it's just like they say, it's just like it's all gonna make the world so much better. One unified currency. This is ridiculous.
Oh, there is one currency that pretty much the world over everyone respects, and that is the ability to destroy things. That's the one currency all the great powers seem to trade in. So what do the people of the thumb want at this point?
They're just trying to amass wealth. They're getting ready to take over the whole fist. At least we think so. It's just like the saying under the thumb.
Yeah,
They want Dactyl all dwarf again. They want to push us out. They call us magical abominations. It's just like I don't got a magic bone in my body. But for what they pay me, I'll do their dirty work.
yeah. What is it that they're selling to the Shaper? Out of curiosity. I mean, obviously they've got to have something that he wants.
They got those forges of theirs. And cranking out brick after brick of the. I don't know if they would call it null metal the same way, but it's just yeah, I'll say it. It's just like that null metal, that metal that rips away magic. It's
Not
just
a
like
magical bone in your body, you say?
not a
Good
magical
thing.
bone in my body. Like those things are anti-magic to a ridiculous degree. I saw him put a pixie in a jar with one, with just a tiny little like pebble of it. That pixie was dead in seconds.
That's some potent stuff. Like, it's you probably have all sorts of interesting stories about all this stuff, and it seems like you and I share a certain kindred spirit. Um, if you're ever in Haven or anything like that, here's my card. I hand him a business card that I have my anonymized business card, and then my above board. This is the anonymized one.
And he takes it and he just looks at it. He's just like, yeah, I'll look you up if I never need another set of hands. And he looks over at Ento. Looks over at Ento. It's just like, what's with the browbeating I'm getting from this one though?
Oh, that's just his way. It's the horns.
They make me cranky.
It's just like Warbletinger. What are you guys doing away from the? Wait, did I call it the hovel? No, what are you doing away from the Warren?
Oh, the Warren. I haven't been home in ages. It just got
What's
uh,
that?
the
Nico, what did I
covert.
name it? The Covert. Sorry, the Covert.
I haven't been in the covert in ages. Got too crowded, you could say.
You people do well, like, you know, like rabbits, I suppose. And he's like, he thought he was making a funny joke and like cut it off halfway through it.
Yeah, we
And he's
do
just
we
like,
do tend to multiply.
like he looks you up and down, but Ento, you're not like in disguise, right? You are just Ento.
My disguise was the eye patch.
Oh, that's right. That's right. It's just like totally fooled everybody else for the record. And he's just looking at you. And you see him like reach into his wallet and he does that baby pictures thing where just like it unrolls, but every single picture is a different wanted poster, just much smaller. It's just like, no, no, no. Uh-huh. And like puts it away. He's just like, you're worth a lot of beans, man. As he like cracks his knuckles and like starts like stretching out. You see him taking off his overcoat.
And I just go, hey, it's worth a lot more beans. Kind of look around. I go, forgetting you ever saw anything, because like I say, there's a market for your services that my friend here can get you into. Is worth a lot more than whatever reward is on that little piece of paper.
He's made a lot of people really mad. Just like they thought he was dead, but this seems to confirm. And he's just like,
Let me
go
see
ahead.
that picture.
And he hands you the picture, and it is the more pirate you. Like, maybe even more so than you are right now.
And I also make a point. Hey, check the badges. Right now, we're under the protection of the Shaper. I don't think we want to start anything here. I don't think we want any kind of trouble. I don't think you want that. Honestly, you seem a decent fellow. I'd hate to lose a drinking companion.
Ento, you were going to say something right there, too?
Oh, Ento like lifts up the eye patch to look at the picture.
Absolutely.
What's the number on that? What's that their bounty
I would
say?
Wanted in throughout Echo, this bounty it has been given from Dactyl. Like at some point you hit Dactyl. And that is the equivalent of like if it's $25 for this, like, and which is considered a lot, if 25 gold is a lot in here, I would say it's probably like 100,000 of the pirates currency.
Oh. Ento is actually fairly pleased at that number. Is there a picture of Pym in this?
Not on that. Oh, in the thing, yeah, I did definitely. There's definitely a picture of Pym, but Pym is still counted as deceased.
Okay.
Pym has not been confirmed to be like that Pym. Pym is just as of right now. I think that the way that the story is going is Pym is just a woman who resembles that other Pym in a lot of ways, but nobody is confusing the one for the other. For
All right.
Ento,
Cool.
that bleed over is happening a lot.
Ento is
go ahead.
pleasantly surprised at this information, like, or not. I guess not surprised, but he's like, all right, good. She's safer than what I had believed.
The captain, the Sea Devil, is also on there. No image included, but that one says 1 million for the record. But you
try and
see,
get that overcoat for me.
you see Fury wrapping his knuckles as he's like debating whether he's gonna fight you, and he's like wrapping his knuckles in golden like fabric, like hand tape. But what if hand tape was like gold?
Ento leans in close and he's like, "Do you really think that the beans are worth the heat you're gonna get from the Shaper if you start something?"
He points to the fist on his shirt. Diplomatic immunity. But
And you
I
think
can
the
see
Shaper's really gonna honor that?
he's just like, he does seem like an untrustworthy sort, doesn't he? And he's just like, fine. And he like pulls the table between the two of you, and he like slams his elbow. It's just like, you got to give me something.
So it's been a while. Do you think that we've gotten like
For sure, you guys can be there or somewhere else if you want to.
I think I probably ferreted out where Arthur has gone, and I like to have him nearby. So I think I've gone there. I also think I'm witnessing the beginning of an arm wrestling competition. Might be interesting to film.
I would
Now the
like to
question-
slowly be getting closer to the gold overcoat.
And the question is, who's gonna arm wrestle?
Oh man, the Fury looks at both of you and puts both of his arms on the thing.
All right, let's do this. This is like over the top.
If I had a cap, I'd turn it backwards.
I'll
Yeah.
walk over there, and then kind of since I'm really short, I can just hop on the table, and I'll put my hand on Arthur's in his hand, and then my other hand on Ento in his hand. So like, okay, everybody, we're gonna do this the normal way. Whoever knocks the other person to the table wins. You can only use one hand. Do your best not to break the table, because then we might have to start over and get a new table. Are you guys ready? I look at everybody.
I'm ready.
Fury cracks his neck, and it sounds like thunder.
All right.
And
Vidra,
he-
you got this?
I got this.
All right. So on the count of 3, you guys are gonna try and break the other man's wrist by knocking against the table, most likely. 1, 2, 3, and then I'll jump off towards the overcoat.
You want rolls?
Yeah, I'm rolling 2d20. The first one is his against Arthur. The second one is his against Ento. So I rolled a 10 and a 12. Arthur rolled a 9. Ugh. Ento rolled a 3.
No.
No,
Ento
I rolled a 16.
I rolled.
Oh
a
shit!
12.
There.
twice.
Oh, you rolled. Yeah. Okay. All right. Ento rolled a 16. Absolutely. So Arthur, you get thrown across the room. Just goodbye.
Yeah,
Beautiful plan shot.
yeah. You know, I kind of dust myself off, and pick myself off, and just go, well played.
He's just like, I got you on the speed, and he then just leans in on Ento. And he's just like, this is just 1-on-1 now. And he rolls again. Oh, he rolled a 6.
Oh, I also rolled a 6.
You guys are tied.
We're like struggling.
Veins bulging on the neck.
It's just like so much of sweat. As like you start to see the Fury's like arms, his sleeves just start breaking off as he flexes, and now he doesn't have no now his shirt is ripped open too, but he still has his tie on. But Krieg, he like, because that was a 6 from Ento, he's just like, you leave that jacket alone, little lizard.
I haven't touched it yet.
He's like, I'll break you next. And it's just like,
excuse me.
he rolled a 15 that time, Ento.
Alright, hold on a second. I wanna look at some of my cards real quick.
It's just like, this dude is just sweating like crazy. I think it's just like in this moment, like it is just so much like bulging vein. At some point, his neck is just like starting to become non-existent.
So yeah, I'm gonna play a card. I'm gonna play coin flip. I think this is one of those instances where it's like all or nothing.
Absolutely. All right. So 1 is a 1, 2 is a 20.
All right, what do I do for this one?
You can do /roll space 1d2. It won't appear on the screen, but it will appear on the side.
Okay, here we go.
Oh, it's a 1. I think what happens here is like, in no way does this become Ento was weak. I think what it does is just we reinforce how strong the Fury is, as he does just slam Ento through the table. And like, it was a fight, and like his arms are bulging and getting like huge, and like Ento, same thing, and he's just like, he catches just a moment and just throws you through the table, and he's just like moving his arms slowly as like Ento starts to get up, and he's just like, are you Gus's kid?
Yeah, that's my dad.
Huh. And he like pulls his jacket down and shows you this gnarly scar that looks like really big fucking antlers might have gone through his chest at one point in time. So gave me this last time we saw each other. Ugh. Alright. It's like he cracks his shoulder. What is Gus's kid actually doing here? You know, pirate.
Oh, I am indeed a pirate.
He's like, you're that one. So it's true. And he like walks up and he just like pulls like a curtain down, and you guys feel as the curtain closes that like any magical eavesdroppers wouldn't be able to. It's just like, it's like special gift from Dactyl. It's just like null weave. Magic people can't listen through it. It does feel a little uncomfortable to any of you that use magic regularly. And he's just like, okay, what are you doing here? Just like, what are you guys studying? We looking to bring down the thumb? I'm in. We looking to bring down the shaper? I'm in.
So
Just puts the camera away.
I don't know if the camera actually works near that that weave, because
That's
we know that it
perfectly
is
fine,
magical.
but I make a show.
Okay, absolutely. He's just like, good, good, good. So what are we in for? He's just like,
so I
leans
look
on the
at
counter.
I look at him and I go, what we're looking for is we're looking for the lay of the land, and you seem like someone who knows his way around the map, so to speak. You've seen a lot of stuff, you've done a lot of stuff, probably, cracked a few skulls. You know where the proverbial
More than a
skeletons
few.
are buried. Yeah, you know where the skeletons are buried, and you seem like a good person to know. That's
He's like,
that's where I'm at. You know, I'm in the business of information, and sometimes that information comes in handy in some various pursuits of mine, and I have a feeling that we might be able to help each other out. So, like I say, if you ever need something found, I'm your guy. If you need someone discovered, I can help you out.
and what if I need someone lost?
We can
Well,
help with that too.
I can point you in some directions. I'm more of a finder than and I can find people, I can find things, and what you do with them once they're found is your business. But
It's like, have you heard of the polished mirror? And I don't think you have.
I was gonna
It's a
ask.
it's a very dactyl specific specific item. And so like you wouldn't know about it, but you would know how to figure out about it.
All right, cool. I'd say this is a new term to me. What can you tell me about it?
Just like it's a mirror that we had forever ago. Rumors back when Dactyl had magic. Superstition, some people say, but a powerful artifact, and I'll leave it at that for your studies. If you find anything out about it, and he hands you his card, and to contact him with this card, it literally has like instructions on the back. It has like time periods that he's available, and then it's just like a little ceremony in front of a mirror that you have to do.
Well, this is good information. I'll keep my ear to the ground, and if I happen to run across this mirror of yours, you'll be the first person to know.
I will appreciate that greatly. He just like looks around. He's just like he looks directly at Krieg, and he's just like, how convincing do you think your costume is that this guy doesn't know that you're Krieg?
Not very, because it was lower than a 10.
Jesus, these dice hate us.
Yeah, these dice are mean to you guys today. But
I
I do get to drop this lore constantly, so that's fun.
Hi, I'm Mip.
I don't believe you.
Not many people do.
Why would you bring him on a stealth mission? He's very noticeable.
Distraction. No one pays attention to them because they're all paying attention to me.
Well, that just seems ridiculous. And
Yeah.
he puts his coat back on, And he cinches it back up. It's just like, we're going to want to do many dealings between Dactyloy and the Silver Thimble. I feel like there's a great relationship as long as you can dodge the thumb.
Well, I know someone in that city. If you want, I can hand you their business card for when they're not busy.
Absolutely. Who do you know from Dactyl?
Not Dactyl, that's Silver Thimble. I haven't
Oh,
made it to Dactyl just yet.
it's just like, oh, you're handing him Krieg's business card. You're just
Yeah,
not.
but I'm
You're not just
pretending
not
it's
ponying
not
up.
me. I'm
I got.
pretending it's like, oh
I
yeah,
figured it
that's
out.
someone else. Yeah.
I was just like, that one went over my head. I'm like, it's just like, oh, yeah. Then he looks at it. He says, "This is just you."
I mean, I can if you want to, Nika, but I don't know anyone who lives there.
Oh shit! Yeah, name me somebody at Dactyloy. Anybody?
Do you have like a naming convention you use for there?
Etruscan?
Okay.
This guy's called the Furies. And if you think he's like, man, that guy kind of looks like Tyson Fury, yes.
Okay.
Because that dude's intimidating and huge and he scares me.
Doing a basic Vicencio, Vincenzo. There you
Hmm. What does he do in the city? Do you know?
go.
It's just like, is he one of those illegal speakeasy runners? Smuggling in pixie dust. You know, people get hooked on that.
I would imagine he's probably one of the probably a tavern owner, yeah. But he tries to avoid the drugs, but go for the weapons. He's the arms dealer, not the drug dealer.
Ah, gotcha. It's just like, the city's been a lot more dangerous with black market magic items on the street. I love it because it keeps me in business. The thumb ate it. You guys here to? Wait, have you guys? You guys have not told him that you're trying to figure out. No, you've asked about the metal, right?
Yeah, we have.
Arthur did.
Yeah. We asked him what they were selling to the shaper, and he revealed
Yeah.
he revealed it was null metal, for lack of a better word.
And it's just like, like they are trading an awful lot of gold and gems and rare trinkets for that. Like, of course, they will never deal with magical items overtly. Let me tell you, some of the thumb have no aversion to magic. It's just all just a show.
You know when
And
this
it's just
is
like,
happening?
it's happening tonight, as far as I know. We were guarding them, but it's like they left me out there for hours. It's like they were just in the waiting room in there, and they finally went into the meeting. They're probably still in there right now if we're good. It's just
Wonder if we
like, you
could.
guys. Yeah, go ahead.
I was just thinking as Krieg would. I was wondering if we could try and get the gold and stuff, but that's probably not a good idea.
I'm not sure stealing would be the best choice right now.
What if we tag it so we can steal it later?
I mean, that would be a really good way to know exactly where they're taking this stuff. Like, then you'll know what Dactyl is as well, but there's maps eventually.
Either way, knowing where a large quantity of Null Metal is going is not a bad thing.
With where Null Metal's coming from.
Yeah.
He's just like, I can get you in there, but you don't want to steal from these people unless you know a real good escape route.
I don't think we're particularly interested in stealing from them. We just want to know them.
It's like, I could get you an introduction, no problem.
Can I film it?
She's like, is this all part of...
This is all part of the documentary, of course.
Yes.
All right. And she's like, then absolutely. That's a great cover. You'll see who you're after, and then you'll see what you can do. It's like, all right, that sounds like a plan to me. And he cracks his neck again. He's like,
Real quick,
I need a new shirt. I'll be right back.
Part of the documentary, that's $25, 25 gold.
And he's just like, you know what? Arm wrestle you for it.
Okay.
All right, yeah, if Krieg wins this, it'll be hilarious. But just so you know, he's rolling 2 to your 1.
I got a 2.
Thank you for rolling.
I don't think that.
Thank you, Will.
Ooh, gotcha.
He goes so hard that it basically, when Krieg hits the table, have you guys ever seen those like lizard things, the splat hand things, but the lizard ones?
Oh,
it looks exactly like that. Krieg just splatters across the table, and he's like, ugh. And he's like, you know what, maybe, and he like reaches into his pocket and pulls out a coin and flicks it into the goo that Krieg has become on that table. And he's like, there you go.
Give me a few seconds, I'll be fine.
It's like a cartoon character that just got.
Yeah, it's like he. Oh yeah, he made it a 1. Krieg, you guys all like see this coin hit Krieg, and he starts to like, the coin sinks in, and then it goes effervescent inside of Krieg for a moment, like dropping fucking an Alka-Seltzer in there. So like, his weird goo is like bubbling a lot, and then he comes back with a gold tinge into his eyes.
Don't worry about it.
It's like, that was weird. I'm just gonna tell you all, that was weird. And I think
Don't
the
worry
theories
about
is
it.
just like, that's weird.
Cinematic.
It's like, you people are weird. All right.
Wait, are my clothes gone now? I revert back to my original clothes?
No, I think you just like, I think your clothes are there as well.
Okay.
I don't think you're naked unless you want to be naked.
That was a 1, so I'm gonna go with yes. I was like, I'll be right back. This is not the first time this has happened. Just gotta hide behind the small chairs and rearrange everything.
Okay. What is the new disguise that Krieg is wearing? Or are you just putting those clothes back on?
Same clothes rearranged?
Well, no, since I was...
Yeah, you're wearing the bandana like a sarong now?
No, since I was in Pim's apartment and Cassidus is sharing that apartment, I'll just be wearing his clothes now. So I'm now dressed up like a cowboy instead of a pirate.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Yep. So the Furies is just gonna walk you guys like ahead. It's just like, here's the plan. We make it clear that the thumb needs to be part of this interview. We need to make them feel important because it goes right to their head. Then you get to learn everything we can about as many of them as possible. Figure out where that Null Metal's going, figure out what's going on. And then I'm going to call in a favor at some point. And looking at Arthur, he's like, you're going to find me something. You're going to find me that mirror. I help you with this, you help me with that.
The business card for Krieg.
He definitely takes it, and he opens up a little a very similar card holder and pulls out his card and hands it to Krieg.
Awesome.
Like, it closes up very much like a cigarette case. He tucks it back in his pocket because I love cigarette cases. I think they're so cool. I wish smoking wasn't so fucking stupid and terrible because all of the culture around it's so cool. I want long stem cigarettes. They're so cool.
It's kind of like the movie cigarettes that don't have any bad stuff in them.
Just start smoking clove cigarettes. I'm just not goth enough. I'm just not goth enough.
My teen years just came back to haunt me with that sentence.
My new name is Sudasak, which is just Cassidus backwards.
Nice. All right. Dressed as a cowboy. Like, we come in to here, and they let you guys right through. This is the Shaper. He is holding an absolutely huge warhammer in one hand and like a smithing hammer in the other. He appears to be some kind of fox. That's I know his arms don't have fur in this. It just kind of gave him like human arms, but he's furry all the way. Like, he's all furry. It's like if you spent any time with, like, if you've spent any time with the character Amon, you would probably recognize they are not like brothers, but they are definitely the same kind of creature. And he is wearing a giant robe that has a leather apron over it. The apron has burns through it. And he has a crown on his head that is shattered, like broken in many spots, but looks like it's being like slowly like glued back together or like reforged. But right now it's still a broken crown. And it's just like, you guys interrupt their meeting, by the way. You just come like barge in kind of style. And the Shaper like looks at you. He's just like, ah, ha, 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 ha. The documentarians. Is it my turn for an interview?
Do you have a few minutes?
I have many minutes for you. I believe these negotiations are mostly done. And like the two, they are smaller, significantly smaller stature. They are about, I think you would like 3'5", both of them, but incredibly stocky. These are dwarves. They do not have beards at all. They are wearing, for lack of a better term, mobster outfits. They are very like similar, like on the same page as Krieg kind of normal outfit. They have pinky rings on. They are giving off, and I don't know how magical you guys are individually, but they are basically radiating no magic, almost like somebody opened the door to the fridge, you know, like at like a fast food place or like a restaurant. Like that cold fridge, you're not in it, but you feel it. Like you got goose pimples from it just being there.
Would one of my like camera filters be able to pick that up on like film stuff, like just to have an aura or something?
For sure. Give me a 20-sider. Let's. That's a real good lens to have. 15 means you definitely have it on you. And yeah, I think when you, because I'm
It's like a
picturing like
polarizer.
doing, yeah, like a polarizer, yeah. And you see magic all over this room. Arthur, not like a huge magic thing. Ento, not so much magic. But like they are here. They exist. You can see them. Krieg is like a nightlight right now. Like he is dimming the rest of the room because of how bright he is. The Fury is he is not glowing, but like you can see him, you know? Like he's there. When you look at these two mafiosos, these two dwarves, it is like a hole in the universe. Your camera is fighting to show you, like, because your brain is fighting to make it what's behind them. Like when you are looking through a purely magical lens, you are seeing just the worst. But behind them is basically the sun. You're basically looking into a solar eclipse because the shaper is radiating magic. Like he is pulsing to a ridiculous degree.
All right. Make sure that at least Arthur has had a chance to be aware of that.
I'd love to find out who their tailor is.
Like one of them looks you up and down and is like, I don't think our tailors have anything for your eclectic tastes. Like he tips his hat with the fedora, but he's definitely doing like a cowboy head and hat tilt at you.
Oh, it's not for me. It's for this friend I know back in the Silver Temple. He
And
wears a lot of the same stuff as you.
I don't think the silver thimble wants to deal in any like this particular fabrics. And like, you guys hear the shaper slam his hammer down on the ground. Enough! I have an interview. Silence. Go ahead, my dear. What questions would you ask the shaper?
I'm going to let Arthur take the lead on things that would be interview like. I'm just making sure that I get the best angle and maybe make sure that every once in a while I get focus in the back so that I can see what's going on around.
Do you want the shaper to sit down? Couches!
Yeah.
Couches and chairs! And like, there's people like bring in like basically a whole set thing. What else? Do you require anything else of the shaper? Just to make this correct. Your vision, your art.
A box that I can stand on so I can see you better?
And he slams his hammer down and the ground starts breaking around your feet and then becomes a box.
Okay.
That was cool.
That was very cool.
The shaper is very cool.
All right. So
you see, sorry, because of you're 15 on that, I want to like let you know the you see the dwarves spit on the ground when they see that magic being used. And you can record that. Like you can record them spitting on the ground. The shaper did not see it.
Yeah. I record I'm recording where I'm looking pretty much, and I saw that, and so therefore I recorded it. I think the vision may be to have have Arthur be off to the side of like where he can't be seen but can be heard, asking interview questions.
Oh, okay. All right. That's...
You know,
We want
kind
to
of,
focus on the shaper, not on Arthur.
yeah, exactly. It's not so much a conversation between the two of them as it is, you know, questions and, you know, focusing on him specifically.
He sits down in his chair and he like brushes his hair back. He's just like, good, good. And he rests his, like, he just puts his hammer, like the way that people from that have gone to space describe putting your cup down, but it's just literally the setting it there and then coming back for it later. That is how he handles his hammer. He just sets it in a place in reality and lets it go, and it just stays there.
Mm. I for sure get a good shot of that for posterity.
Of course, of course, of course. And he's just like, ask me your questions, my dear interviewers. The Shaper waits.
And action. Silence.
I think any of you can ask questions from him, and that's perfectly fine. He will answer anything.
Hey,
He doesn't know.
We should start at the beginning. How did you? Where did you get your start? Where are your roots?
Ah, the Oasis. Fine place. It moves, you know. Never totally locked down into one space. But I was a pup there. A kit? Is it a pup or a kit, Lancer Fox?
Kit.
Yeah.
That's where I grew. That's where I began my long, arduous journey into leading a massive fleet of ships against the world. I was
So,
so young.
I guess my question for you is, what is it that made you wake up one day and say, I am going to amass the largest pirate fleet the world has ever seen and lead them to topple basically the unjust hierarchy of the pirate queens. What led you to that decision?
I am tired of everybody being lorded over by fairy tales. And not that fairy tales aren't good stories. It's all fine. It's all good. The Shaper is more than a story. The Shaper is something concrete. What I do is set things correct. It's no chaos that somebody every couple of generations picks up a name and somehow they are the queen. It's ridiculous. Up until a couple of months ago, we all assumed they were dead, and now they're back. What foolishness is this? So I took up my hammer, and I will forge an army that will set it right. Ridiculous.
So again, I understand the general broad strokes, but what made you convinced that you are the person to do this? What is it that gives you the ability to hold all of these disparate factions together to unite them in common cause? What is it that makes it so that motivates you specifically? And I'm not talking philosophically, I'm talking emotionally. There's a living, breathing heart in there. There is a person that obviously something did not sit right with you. What was it that led you to that?
I strive for ambition. I've always believed that I saw further than everybody else. And the idea of 7 different pirate crews, unmanaged, untamed, being the pinnacle of this profession, the pinnacle. 7 of them, all completely different from different sides of the world. Ridiculous. They should all be under one umbrella. And then I thought all pirates should be under one umbrella. And and he snatches up his hammer. And when he snatches it up, Ento, you hear it rip, like when you heard Katori like rip reality asunder a little bit before. Like it's that.
Yeah.
It is that ripping is just like, and with this hammer, I will reforge like reality pirates. We will be what we were, not silly flying in the sky singing songs. We will be feared and we will be respected.
So,
Go
and you've told me about your belief in yourself. I'm asking for your experiences. What is the experience?
Absolutely.
Yeah, what is the experience that shaped you? You shaped the world around you, but what shaped you? Who made you
I was on the
the
forge.
chunky boy you are today?
I'm sorry. The Shaper is not a chunky boy. The Shaper is all. He like taps his stomach a little bit. It's just like the Shaper has put on some weight. The Shaper understands this. It's fine. It's fair. The dwarves are just like, this man is insane. Like they are like getting closer to Ento and the Fury and Krieg, and they're just like, this man is out of his mind. Why are we dealing with this? And it's just like, because he's paying well. And like the Fury is just shaking his hand and shaking his head. And it's just the Shaper goes on a ridiculously long explanation, Arthur, that is explaining that he was a blacksmith's apprentice for years. And like he is getting way, way, way too into minutia of like how metal works. And then it's just like, and then he's like, but no matter how hard I did, I could never make a sword that was better than like the mages. And he starts talking about like, he doesn't go into detail of them, but little villages that the Oasis used to pass by. And he doesn't explain the Oasis very well either, because it's just like, he's explaining it like somebody where it's common knowledge. Like everybody knows the Oasis moves, so nobody talks about the fact the Oasis moves. And he talks about all these mages always would like belittle them because like the things that he was making weren't magical. And then like, and he finally gets to it, he's just like, and then I found it. In the middle of the desert, there was a hole. And I reached in that hole, and what I pulled out was this. And he holds up the hammer. And the head of the hammer is through Vidra's lens. If it's telling everybody's color, like magical color, everybody from Echo is orange. Everybody from Liminal is teal. That is just the colors that we have set up. This hammer is ever shifting and prismatic, almost opalescent, but like it's constantly shifting colors. And like it's hard to see. Like whereas they are a hole in reality where there's no magic possible, that hammer is all magics are possible through that hammer.
Got it. Okay. Well, that is what people want to know. They want to know who is the person who is leading them. You know, what are his aims? What is it that makes him unique? What is it that makes him better than the lawless chaos that they're used to? And you're showing us that. So in your vision of an ideal society, what does that look like?
It's absolute freedom as long as you pay up. it's just like paying for protection. That's what I want. I want, and like he points at Krieg. Krieg, you don't 100% know why he's pointing at you right here, but then like he starts explaining. He's like, what I want is a subscription service to everything. Like you can, and you opt in and opt out of whatever you do and do not want. Say you don't think your house is ever going to burn down. Don't pay your firefighter subscription. That's fine. It's like, not afraid of being robbed? Don't pay for my guards. That's fine. And it's just like crime, very similar. You don't want to be arrested? Pay your way out of it. It's simple. That's how I want everything to be transactional. That is perfect society.
Society as a service, then.
Exactly.
What happens if your house does burn down and you're not paying for the firefighters?
I mean, if your house burns down and you're not paying for the firefighters, we're not putting it out. And you can't put it out either. You don't have the union. You're not part of the union.
Oh.
Sounds reasonable.
See, this guy gets it.
Are you running all of these then as like fully managed services? Like, so if you are if you're paid up, like what sort of SLAs are you guaranteeing for uptime and things like that?
We're talking about this with Dactyl over there. Hey, Dactyl, come over here. Come over here. We're going to talk about this with everybody. And that's just like, okay. So get all this on film. I want people to understand my vision. Are you getting my good side?
Absolutely.
Thank you. You're amazing. And I think the fairies just like leans towards Ento. He's just like, I think this is about to get real gross.
Gross? How?
And it's just like, I don't think it's going to get gross for you. And he starts explaining, it's just like, we have deciphered a way to even things out. It's like, I know what you're thinking. It's just like, the world will never be even. Everybody has different magical powers and stuff. And we've thought of that. Enough of that. We're done. And he like reaches into this box of null metal things. But he has like tongs when he grabs a bar of null metal. And this is scary right here. The lens would show wouldn't even try. It wouldn't even be hazy. You know what I mean? That lens does not see this bar. You see the bar.
Box.
It's like not even a black box. It's not there. Just like if she points the camera into the box that the stuff was in, it doesn't see it with that lens.
It just sees the
can
box?
be recorded on film. Yeah, it just sees the box. It can be recorded on film, but not. I don't think you can actually save what it looks like on your hard drive. It will just be invisible when they look at it. It's not that you're not going to delete it. It's just we can't see it.
But it's
just like,
visible on the hard copy.
Yeah, visible on the hard copy, because that's science.
Got it.
And it's just like, these fellas, we don't do a lot of trading with the dactyls. Like, I really thought they were going to be flying lizards. I really did. Turns out, the dwarves and people in fancy suits. And he waves at the Fury, and the Fury like waves back. He's like, tough guy. Don't fight him. And he cracks, and he's like, I'll go another round. But enough of that. It's just like, we are going to even the score. If everybody is set at a single baseline, everybody's even. So then I will be able to collect the system. Like, I don't want anybody doing jobs that they're not qualified for. Unions for life. He's just like, but this, and he holds up the purest null metal. Oh, not that. Like the purest null metal that we've ever seen in this game. Like, if you guys were to touch this as characters, like, you guys are fine, except for Krieg's not fine. If Krieg touches it, it will probably kill him. Arthur, Ento, and Vidra would be fine. You guys would just be stripped to 0 AP. But when you guys hit 0 AP, nothing happens to you. Like, this is...
Would we know
this
about
is unmagic.
Just keep him away?
Yeah, basically. I think Krieg is naturally keeping himself away.
Got it.
It's not like he's throwing it. He's just like, yep. And it's just like, if we're doing the plan, then they wheel out a whiteboard again, and they're like, all right, look here. The icosahedron's made of 20 sides. We all know this, of course. Like, we've been exploring some of it, haven't been able to get far, but there have been works. Like, most of us have been all over the world, but some of the sides too dangerous, and we're going to have to send some of his bigger, badder pirate crews deeper in there, of which they will be greatly rewarded by the Shaper. Wonderful rewards, massive amounts of coin. And he's like,
I like coin.
Like, see, who doesn't? Everybody likes coin. It's like universal is what's great about it. None of this bartering. It's like, you do a job, I pay you this many coins. It's that simple. And she's like, obviously, we take a cut of those coins for the person who deals with the coins. You have to pay who deals with your coin. And it's just like,
sounds like a great job.
It sounds like it's like, and one of them's just like, that's actually what I do. Hi. Anyway, the plan is, and they show you a mock-up of a giant drill that they are planning in like a pirate ship with this drill on the back, going like sailing out to the middle of an ocean, and then dropping this massive drill to. They are going to infuse the world. They're going to put one giant batch of Null Metal on each side of the world. That is the plan.
Do you mind if I get close-ups of all of these plans?
Absolutely. Get close. Let everybody know what we're doing. We're making the world a better place.
These are fascinating.
The only people that are really worried about this are the hoity-toity mages, and like both of both the dwarves spit on the ground again.
I hear it.
And there we have it. A plan to unify the pirates, to equalize the world, to liberate everyone around the icosahedron from the fear of... Wait, no, not a fear. It's like from choice. From not being... the inability to choose. Now you'll be able to choose everything. Everything that you could want can be yours at a reasonable cost.
I'm really curious about your SLAs. What specifically are you committing to for uptime on all of these services that you're proposing? And how do
Vidra
you...
kind of like...
He's just like, in that... I get it. I understand. See, the part that you are not privy to, and he like leans close and he's like, this part's a secret. But he like motions to keep the film going.
Closer.
Like, if I'm sorry. If I'm the only one with access to magic, I can guarantee all of these services. 3-day shipping? Done. Anything you want, I can deliver it to you overnight. Fire? Fire's no problem. I can call the storm. But I must consolidate all of that power. If other people around the world are using it, that means less for me. I will be, and it'll be simple. If one person is taking care of everything, you know who to pray to. As he leans back in his chair, which looks a lot more like a throne all of a sudden.
When I go to review the Does it look like it has been changed?
Yeah, definitely. When it started, it was probably like a cushy chair, like you would like interview maybe a like an IT guy.
Hmm.
But now it looks like it's huge in an ominous crown.
Has the rest of the room changed?
Do we? Yeah, if we wanted to, for sure. Like he reshaped the whole room during the conversation. Like I think it's a lot more warlike and like prepared to do these tasks. And it's just like, and the Shaper wants you, pointing directly at the video, at the camera.
Hmm.
It's just like, was that good? I feel the Shaper did well.
That was perfect. Rolls or widens her eyes a bit. You know, trying very hard not to give away just how horrified she is over all of this.
It's a scary prospect. Like we don't know the extent of what he is trying to do or how successful that'll be, but you guys are researching Null Metal, and we are learning that it is not contagious. That's the wrong word, but like radioactive waste. Like if it's there, it bleeds out and turns the rest of it and turns everything near it into radioactive waste after a while.
Mm.
Have we found a way to prevent against it yet?
No.
And just wear some lead underwear, you'll be fine.
All right, so I'm gonna walk up to the. Were the two dwarfs in the documentary at all? Like, could we see them on the film?
Occasionally, because I did get film of them spitting on the ground, and there's also like the noise of them doing it the second time.
Okay. Since they're part of the documentary, we need to get the documentary fee from them. So I'm gonna walk up to them and say, "That's 25 gold coins for the documentary."
Maybe we should ask them questions.
Oh, right. Yes. Do you have any questions for them, Arthur?
So I guess I go up to the first one. What's his name?
The dwarves?
Yeah.
There's Venti and Volca.
Okay. We'll start with Venti, the one who sounds like basically an extra large espresso.
Oh, he is an extra large espresso.
All right. So I start with Venti and I go, so Venti, um, tell me about how you came to be involved in the Shaper's designs. What
The
are
man
you?
offered us so much money. Have you ever seen this much money? And he like opens a door. And there's a. I'll show you the room real quick. It's no, not that one. Is it this one? There it is. It's just like this room is just full of treasure. Like
And
in
also a
each one of these
werewolf?
boxes. Yep, he's a guard back here. His name is Bargeist. He just waves. He's like, "Hi,
Hi.
just please don't
So
steal my stuff."
no theft intended. So all
Thank you.
right. So he's giving you all of this in exchange for your expertise in the transportation and transformation of null metal. Is that correct?
That is correct. That is the deal. And he just like looks at it, just like pulls out his contract, basically to the letter. You're good.
So so he's paying you all of that money for it, and would you describe yourself as a true believer in the cause, or
Oh,
are you hired?
The thumb is very interested in anyone who desires to lower the magic level of the world. This the disgusting stuff. Just I hate being out here. It feels like somebody's hot breath in my face all the time.
So, given your thoughts and feelings on magic and the vast amounts of magic that are, that are manifested in our friend over there, um, it must be pretty tough for you.
It's tricky. Like we don't. He is powerful, but as long as we have our clothes on, we can have conversations. It's not like we'd invite him in. Not without, not without the gorget, right? It's like they elbow each other back and forth.
What's this gorget?
Oh, there's or collar. Some say anybody in Dakalari needs to wear one at all times. It prevents anybody from having magic in there. It's like for you, I'm sure it wouldn't be a problem. It's just you wear it and you're fine. It's the others, the shapeshifters, the abominations of them, the ones that just don't hold to a single form, like wave their hands and make things float. Disgusting, disgusting, and they spit again. It's like, but
And
but it doesn't hurt them. It doesn't hurt you.
so, I guess the other thing I'd like to know is, are your services exclusive to the Shaper, or are they available to anybody with the right amount of coin?
Anybody that has more coin than him, we are definitely looking to do business with you. But we have many services. We don't like to leave the city except on runs of such a large amount. And right now, all of our forges are tied up making null metal for our esteemed benefactor.
Is all of the null metal being made by you guys?
Well, there was an off brand of it for a while. The city named Gibbet was making it. I heard they were making it out of wooden fish, though. It's very strange. But we have learned that they are just more magical creatures unto themselves. They've learned to turn it into a dance. It's very strange. But anytime you see null metal of this quality, and he will like one of them will reach into the box and pick it up no problem, and just like hold it out. They're like this. If you see anything that has this resonating null, and it's just like it. When he says resonating, it's not at all. Like if he hits his thumb on it, it doesn't make a noise. Like he slams it on the ground, it doesn't make a noise.
Does it vibrate?
It literally cannot vibrate. And he's just like, but if you look, he like tosses it into the box. If you're looking to kill a god, look us up.
Good to know.
It's not currently on my to-do list.
Let's go. Plans change. It's like the Fury's over there. He swore he'd rail against us forever. Promised to kill my wife. He's like, won't be doing anything like that, will you now, the Furies? And he's just like, no, sir. And he like looks like he's trying to loosen his tie, but Krieg and Ento, because you guys are close to him, you can actually see the tie cinch up. Like as the dwarf is like talking to him.
Ooh.
That tie is magic. Just so we all know. Like
Yeah,
the lens will show the tie being magic.
Mm-hmm.
kind of got the vibe there. So, We have a quick sidebar with the rest of my associates here. We
Hold
kind
on.
of go.
I need to collect the documentary fee real quick. Then yeah,
Yeah.
25 gold.
Who you saying that to?
The one we just asked questions to.
Vinty.
Yeah, Vinty drops 5 incredibly black coins into your hand, Krieg, and they burn.
I'm gonna do my best not to show anything on my face and turn around and walk away.
Roll me that 20-sider.
Okay.
Keep your
If I need
composure,
a good
Krieg.
one, it's right now. Come on.
Natural 1. That's so sick.
You know what? Hold on. I got this. It'll be great. Okay,
Nice. All right. F in chat for sure. The Shaper was like going over, like looking at the Null Metal and like counting out stuff. He was just like planning things. And Krieg, the second this Null Metal hits your hand, like you are starting to have a violent reaction. Like your arm is blowing off.
Is there any way that I can help him? Because while I am a documentarian, I also understand that, I don't like watching people be hurt. And that's more important.
Yeah, absolutely.
Can I like
Vidra,
take it?
Do you want to snatch the money out of his hand?
Yes. Or try to.
Absolutely.
Try to.
Oh yeah, with a 1, you're literally gonna have to fight his finger open. Like, oh yeah, 14 will do it though. And you get them, and you feel your AP going down, like from like holding this, like, and it is like making you a little lightheaded. But for you, it's just like magic is normal. Like it's not like it's crazy, but you've traveled the world and felt other places' magics, so it's not the end of the world when your magic starts dwindling away a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
And the Shaper turns and looks. Is just like, liars, and he slams his hammer on the ground, and you guys start to see the door is reshaping into a wall right now. And it's just like, I think, Krieg, your cowboy hat falls off and falls on the ground. And both the dwarves look over at you. It's like, that's Krieg of the Silver Thimble.
Hi. Business card.
You see a bunch of guns start coming out of places now. And they're just like, they both yell, "Get him!" And then you hear the Shaper scream, "Get them!"
Real quick.
The Furies looks at Ento. Oh, go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say, can I use Amelia's sorting box? Do you remember?
Yeah, are you just trying to move things around?
Yeah, so pretty much there's a lot of stuff in this room, right? So I'm gonna move all that stuff in front of them and then move us near the entrance.
I think that 1 is telling you no.
Okay.
Because like you're gonna try, you can pull out the box and then look down and your hand's not there.
Oh, that's gonna be fine. I'll just put the box back then.
I feel like
Ento,
for everybody
have
that does. Oh,
you-
sorry.
No, you're fine. Go for it.
For everybody that's not used to what's happening with Krieg, Krieg keeps eating this bee's candy stuff that keeps turning him somewhat into like a gelatinous form. Right now, I think Krieg is like dripping, like where his hand would be. It's like he drips, and it's like the same color as him. It's red until it gets a little bit away from him, and then you guys notice that red turns to gold and sounds like a coin hitting the ground.
Okay.
This is fascinating, but this is the wrong time.
So I'm going to go up to the Furies and I'm gonna see if I can find a way to snap the necktie from around his neck and free him from his bond. So I go, hey,
Oh,
you need some help with that necktie? I have a suspicion that I might be able to help you get out of it. And I'm going
oh,
to take the Null Metal coin from Vidra and see if I can use that on the tie.
So at the same time, Venti is like screaming, "Kill them!" And as like you go towards him with the thing, and you can see his suit jerk him back, and then he starts swinging on you and Ento as the closest two. He's just
Okay.
like you can see he's not like trying to do it, but it's also being choked out, so he can't say anything to you while he's doing it.
Got it. Okay. So I'm going to slip the coin. I'm just going to take a little bit of chewing gum from my mouth real quick, slap it across my brass knuckles, stick the Null Metal coin onto the knuckles. Should give me a combat edge. And then what I'm going to do is, I guess I'm going to see if I can find a way to free him from the suit.
Yeah, absolutely. What's Ento doing right now? Because like he's gonna swing on you.
Ento's gonna.
Good.
Oh no, you go ahead.
I was gonna say also the Shaper is here and he is currently reshaping the room. It doesn't take long for him to do that, but I figure all of this is happening in like the same like 30-second span.
What would happen if I tried to stick the coins on the hammer?
Something interesting, I promise.
If you want, I can go up there. I'm already half melting, so I'll be fine.
I mean, they're in my hand right now. Like, I
Yeah,
either
but you don't want to lose your camera.
it's not a strap.
Ooh, nice.
Uh, but like if I could either try to toss them or I could try to like just put my hand with them in it on the hammer.
I can try and distract him so you can get up close if you'd like.
Yep.
All right, excellent. So I know what you two are up to. Oh, sorry, Ento. I know I interrupted you. I'm sorry about that. What were you saying? You were doing?
So while they're doing this, Ento's gonna keep the Furies occupied, and so Ento is drawing his blades.
Just absolutely. You see the Furies just like look at your swords, and it's just like you hear him chuckle one out. He's like, all right, this is gonna be fun, even under these circumstances. And he just like dashes in at you, and he is throwing the most ridiculous combos at you, like straight out of an anime. And we don't have to make rolls for this part. And I think Arthur, it's happening very similar to you. Like he's coming at both of you in like in a rage, as like you guys are like moving your heads just right, dodging the hits, trying to get him, but he keeps moving away at just the opportune time and like sweeping you guys, and you're doing like backhand springs. The whole fight is going crazy. I'm picturing it very much like what if anime, are there any anime set in like 1930 Chicago? Like
Sure
it's
there
very
are.
Cowboy Bebop
Yeah, I'm sure
meets
there is.
Well,
like
what I'm getting here is like, because I'm trying. This almost feels like a Jackie Chan fight, really. It's like I'm trying to,
yes.
because I'm trying to get like it's we're using the fabric to trying to basically get him out of the suit, get him out of the tie, and all of that. So like we're trying to grapple him, pull it out, like trying to cut the seams, things like that. so that we can try and free him, even as he's trying to fight us?
Absolutely. And while that is happening, Krieg is currently distracting the Shaper as Vidra climbs his hammer.
I would like to remove Cassidus's clothes and then put mine back on, since I don't need it anymore.
You just bringing yours just around with you?
Yeah, of course.
I don't think that's how disguises work.
You have to have multiple disguises, just in case the first two fail.
It's all stuffed in a pocket.
Yeah.
He's modified the clothes to be like the pull off pants that just snap.
Tearaways.
Yeah.
And then once I'm back, I'm just gonna throw myself at his face. That's the best distraction.
All right, that's 20 siders all around.
All right.
I'm gonna go last because we all saw how my last one went.
All right, who's going first?
I will.
Do it.
Oh! Oh, we started with a 1.
No.
Let's just let that one ride for now. You guys don't worry.
I'll get my
That
turn
one.
later.
I think here's what happens, because we don't even need any more. All right, the rest of you guys all do have to roll, because I need to know if one of you get a 20, because that turns it into a reaping. So
All right, Ento, why don't you go? Let's just go clockwise.
All right, here we go.
12 for that one.
Okay. Krieg.
6 for Krieg.
All right, here goes nothing.
15.
15. All right. So here's what happens. Not what happens, but here's what happens. You guys tell me how it happens. You guys get the Furies out of that suit.
All right. Yeah, so
that happens.
All right, awesome. So I basically grapple him and hold him down while and since Ento's got cutting implements, you can maybe start cutting seams out so that his sleeves start falling off and we can start tearing him out of the thing, and then we can get that damn tie off of him.
Yeah, with surgical precision, Ento is just slashing perfectly at all of these seams.
All right, and I'm like, trust us, we're doing this so that you can be free. We seriously, we don't really want to fight you. We want to free you here.
And he's just like, I gathered that one as he's just like, geez, those are some really nice cuts. You should be a tailor.
Well, he is a surgeon, so.
It's like, I bet that made Pops mad.
Oh, furious. Absolutely furious.
After you guys get that tie off of him, the Null Metal burns it. This was a very magical tie. But you guys both succeeded your rolls, so I'm gonna ask you: do you want to spend a little bit more time to get the tie off so that it's still usable, or do you guys want to just cut it off?
I just want to cut it off.
Same.
All right, you cut it off, and it just it feels gross to cut. It feels gross to be near. You can feel the Fury is being forced to do things. And as you cut it, you can see in your mind all of the terrible things that they have made him do. Because of this tie. And it's bad. It's the boys bad. But I don't get into that. Not rapey stuff. I wouldn't do that. But that level of violence.
Yeah, he's had to do some of the old ultra violence. I mean, that's that's par for the course for gangster shit. So, but honestly, I'm like, hey, look, you deserve to be free, my friend, and we'd be honored if you joined us of your own free will.
And he's just like, it's like if we get out of this alive, like I definitely will think about it. And just as that happens, Krieg is going for the Shaper's face, and it feels so right. By the way, Krieg and Vidra, like it feels like you guys got it. The corn like slam onto it, and like the next thing you guys all know is you're laying on the
Mm.
you're laying on the beach outside of the cove, like your ears still ringing, just
Oh.
ringing like crazy, and you guys can see smoke rising out of the cove and into the sky as like that smoke looks like a hole in the universe more than it does like smoke should.
Mm.
Did you get that?
I don't know if my camera is actually intact any longer.
Even on a 1, I'm not going to break your count. I think you
Okay.
might have lost a lot of the film.
Yeah. It
So would you
probably
say
flew open.
I lost a limb?
I would say that Krieg, I think you can look back down and see a couple of your fingers already there again.
Okay. I was gonna
Unless
say
you want to use that bingo, then yeah, you can use the bingo and get it all back.
Yeah. Just feel
Krieg,
like,
if you play the bingo card and get it's almost like Krieg has a cast for that arm that is made out of gold. Like you have a gold shell, like an M&M situation.
I'm just gonna. Is everybody out there, or is it just me and Vidra?
I think it's all 4 of you, and I think then the Furies is gonna like pull himself up out of the water.
Okay.
Like completely, like I'm thinking like he comes out of the water in just his underwear, basically.
I'm guessing it's heart
And he's
boxers.
oh, is it heart boxes? It was either gonna be heart boxes or the like the rope thong thing.
No, I think it's heart boxers.
I like heart boxes. Yeah.
Uh-huh.
He like crawls out of the water.
I would like to stand up in front of everybody and just be like, I would appreciate it immensely if you all didn't mention this to literally anyone, especially you, Ento. I know how you like to talk with your sister. No offense, but your sister can't keep anything secret.
She's real bad at that.
And I'm just deferring to myself. Everything else that happened, we should tell fucking everybody. But me, you would appreciate it if you didn't say anything about me.
Vidra, as you can
even
go,
the clothing stealing.
Oh, that part you can probably say. I don't really care. That part.
Okay.
You got to give them something. Give them that.
That's because if I don't give her anything, she's gonna be suspicious. So I'll give her that.
Yeah, give her that. Awesome. Okay, everybody gonna stay quiet? Great.
Yeah, I guess. Meanwhile, I'm just like, so yeah, we've been somehow thrown free. I like what exactly happened back there. Last thing I remember is we were cutting the Furies free of that slave suit there, and Vidra and Krieg were going for the hammer. What happened? How did we get here?
It's like, as Arthur asks that, Vidra is looking down into her camera, and like I know it doesn't actually replay things, like, but this one can because we're in a magic world. So like you can see it from like the dangling across point of view. It's like as Vidra like puts the coins on the thing, and it creates basically like there's a moment where the shaper looks directly at the end of his hammer, like with the wonder what that's gonna do, like look, and then the only thing that you can see is just like light through it, and then a bunch of shapes. I think
Like you
you guys
divided
have
by
a
zero.
like you divided by 0, and then a triangle got ripped into the world, and then you all felt like you were inside a 20, like the feeling is like you were inside a 20-sider, and then it just came up 15, which I believe is Alkali's number, and then just you guys fell out into the water and dragged yourselves out here. But yeah, the inside of Cove is a wreck. Like you guys can tell they're screaming in there. A lot of people
Is
didn't
that
make it out.
whiskey library on fire?
It kind of has to be, right?
Yeah.
Does it exist any longer?
I mean, although I gotta say, like, if we manage to somehow survive, there's a pretty good chance that the Shaper's also still alive. So I'm
Oh yeah.
I'm also gonna
Look around, see if we can find him.
yeah.
I think you guys will start to see the reshaping happening like around like the upper parts, like parts of the world, like parts of the things that have been blown off are starting to like become themselves, but more like you can see the tongs, the hammer, and the anvil showed up a lot more. He is fully transforming the Clove Cove into his own place. He has begun, and you can see that cloud being pulled further and further, and like it's being funneled like a storm as you see the cove becoming massive statues of a fox man and huge, like it just gets a little bit more ostentatious, and like you see the doors reshape into like these massive golden like guarded doors with huge spikes on them.
That's just a waste of gold right there. I mean, come on.
I'm scrambling to get everything on film.
I think it's safe to say that the Shaper is probably fine.
Yeah. So I think we probably need to we probably need to beat a hasty retreat back to Haven and let
about those
everybody know what's
dwarfs?
going on here
Do you
about the
think those?
dwarves.
Yeah. Do you think they're fine?
Uh,
They
you
have
know,
those suits.
I kind of suspect if anybody would be fine, it would be them, but they're not going to give us they're not going to give us a whole lot of information like the Shaper will. Like they don't seem to have his level of megalomania. So
Yeah.
yeah, yeah. So we should head back and let people know what we're up against here. We're clearly going to need to probably mount a more serious expedition to actually get rid of the Shaper, and then doing anything with the dwarves. Furies, the Furies. I know you can probably help us out a little bit with that. We'd love to help in any way we can. I believe starting with finding that mirror of yours.
He's like, I look forward to finding that mirror. It's just like, oh, and he like leans back and like takes a huge deep breath in. He's just like, you guys can see the scar around his neck where the tie had been like, choking him for years. He's just like, it's been a minute since I was good and ready. It's like, all right, I'll help you guys out, but I want to go to Dactylor. It's not
I'd
maybe
love to
not
visit.
now.
Ento puts his
He's just
hand
like-
on the Fury's shoulder and says, "Have you ever thought about being a pirate? We do a lot of
Then he's-
traveling."
Oh, and he puts his hand on your shoulder. So he's just like, "You guys any good at coups?"
Boy, do we
You
have a story for
no
you.
idea.
Can I real quick use? Well, I don't have any AP at the moment, probably because it's all gone. But can I have some of the small woodland creatures go grab those motorcycles for me?
Oh, the motorcycle's on the boat. I was
Right.
literally trying to find the motorcycles tokens not too long ago because I just cannot find them. But yeah, you guys ridiculously they just keep changing hands. But now there are 4 motorcycles on this boat. One is a moped. One is a deluxe custom model that is only ridden by the wealthy. One is powered by AP but sounds like an electric bike, and one of them is like a not lowrider, cruiser is what Kat said.
Okay. So on the way back, I'd like to explain to the Furies how we ended up having that coup and obfuscation happen.
She's like, "Oh man, I love 3 Vampires and a Goth Girl. They're my favorite band."
Right?
I think. Oh wait, where are we going? Are we going to Haven? Like, okay, so we are here. Like, I think, yeah, right where this boat is, basically. Like, we can go to Turmerick's Outpost. That's fine because like they've been working on that. Or we could keep going. We can go to Haven, which is the safest place that we have because like that's what most of the crew should be.
I think Haven is. I vote for Haven myself.
I'll go
Okay.
along, for the ride.
Yeah,
Like I say,
Haven's probably
space.
the best choice.
I do have to stock up my store with the random stuff I found in that city.
Haven is east. My bad. I think I said west because I'm really bad at north, south, east, and west. Just the worst.
I sympathize.
It's just like it's literally like if I'm looking at a map, it should be just right is east, left is west, but I in my head, nope.
Well,
All
if you
right.
go east long enough, you'll wind up in the west.
Eventually, right?
Okay.
All right. So, and with that, I think you guys will like get back with the full like ability to explain to the folks of Haven, and I'm gonna use a recap as like summing up what we learned today, so that this is kind of the stuff we're telling them. If I missed something, let me know.
Mhm.
I'm just waiting for. Yeah, we go. So today we joined Arthur, Vidra, Krieg, and Ento on a kind of undercover mission. It definitely was undercover for the beginning of it. Mission into the Clove Cove where a Null Metal deal was happening. There were dwarves from a place called Dactylor that are selling selling and producing a massive amount of Null Metal, like the purest kind of Null Metal, and they were selling it to the pirate leader Shaper. The Shaper specifically, he wants to take over the world, like lower the magic level to an even amount on every side, so everybody has the same amount of magic, and then he wants to start selling services to people. He's going to have magic, so he's going to sell deliveries. He's going to sell like fire equipment. I mean, putting fires out, like guard duties, all that stuff. Like unify it. That's what he really wants. Like all under one person's control, and that's fair. Then and the cove was taken over by him. Many smaller companies have been, like smaller pirates have been taken over by the Shaper. Also, we met, and I wrote her name down and then I lost it. Did anybody else write down what I named that fox woman?
Then
Was it Ferris? It was
Ferris.
Ferris. Sorry.
Ferris.
So Ferris is the right hand of the Shaper. She is very much a steampunk like desert pirate, and I love her, and she's a fox woman. And then we met with a bodyguard of the people from Dactyl. His name was the Furies. He is a very strong fighter. He beat Arthur and Ento in arm wrestling at the same time. And then he also beat Krieg immediately afterwards.
All of this was caught on film?
All of this was caught on film. You can check the tapes.
Are you sure that wasn't some of the film that got damaged?
It's all backed up.
Ah, damn it.
I mean, private
And then-
stash and all that.
Right? Just keeps playing. Like Ento shows up to the bar, and then you just see him getting launched across the room over and over again. And it's just like the Benny Hill track is playing, and then you see Arthur go flying across the room, and then Krieg gets squished on the table.
Just
We'll talk about
scrub back and forth on the editing. Just watch it over and over, backward and forward.
It's like, what are we gonna call it? I think we'll call it a GIF. No, it's a GIF.
Fight.
Right. GIF versus GIF is just like the next civil war in this game. I have no dog in that race.
That golden anvil, the symbol of the
badge. You guys can definitely have it. You guys. Yeah, I'll say you guys can still have it, but at this point, he is changing what those look like. They're not going to be. Those won't count as convincing badges anymore.
But it is still solid gold, right?
It's still solid gold. It's absolutely still worth a bunch.
Hell yeah, dips.
Are you just pulling them off from everybody else? That's rude.
No, it's not. It's appropriation for a better cause.
I think rude. All right, so then we interviewed the Shaper, and he explained all of his supervillain motives, which is fun because I don't get to explain supervillain motives very often.
All on camera.
In an interview, we found out that the Null Metal that the dwarves from Dactyl make is incredibly powerful. They plan on inserting it into a large amount of it into each side. The Dactyl will be providing the Null Metal, but the pirates will be the ones doing the delivering of the Null Metal. Then everything was going well until Krieg had to get paid, and he got paid in Null Metal coins, and they made his new squishy body go wild for a minute. And then he was outed as Krieg, and a fight began.
No, did
Ento
anyone
and
else get outed, or just me?
Just you.
Perfect.
But just you is enough, generally. Also, you guys are on film. These people don't recognize you because you're disguises, but I'm pretty sure your friends do. Because I just think you guys just all glued on mustaches, basically. It's like you put on spirit pirate costumes is what you did.
I definitely glued on a mustache.
Absolutely. Just twirl it constantly.
Mm-hmm.
Then Ento and Arthur cut the Furies out of his outfit completely, just very successfully, because he was being controlled by those clothes, including the tie. And then Krieg and Vidra tag teamed the Shaper, but accidentally set off a magical nuclear explosion that sent them through the ecosahedron and then back to the outside with ears ringing. And then they saw the Shaper reshape all of the Clove Cove into his own new kingdom. But he's not changing it, the name of it. Clove Cove still stands. He likes that. Also, it's on the map, and I'm not going to change that. But yeah. And now you guys are going back to Haven to tell everybody about this.
Yep,
I
we
think I
can
got
share
everything.
our findings with the rest of the Seam Guard. Now that we know where the Null Metal is coming from, or at least one of the major sources of it, that should be useful in our investigations, and we've seen what it can do in action.
We all agreed not
Absolutely,
to
and
talk
like
about Krieg.
I'll talk about Krieg. Little shit. All right, yeah, and if nobody else has any questions or anything about tonight's game, I am gonna call it there because I am exhausted.
And
That
have
game
some tea.
took some turns. I
It
really,
really did.
I
Thanks
really
for
forgot
letting us-
how
Go ahead.
integral the camera was. Like I was like, oh, that's cool. Like I figured you guys would just be hiding it and like surreptitious. You know the word.
I mean, if I hadn't
Like, just-
gotten outed with it,
That's fair. That's fair.
I would have. I also can't say the word you're trying to say, but I know what you're talking about.
Right? Right? Yeah. It's like, I'm
Surreptitiously?
trying to say.
That word.
There it is. All right. Just cut. Like I'm just gonna copy and paste you saying it before when I say it.
There we go.
But like, yeah, interviewing everybody is very funny to me. Like there was a way to get Alian into this game. Alian's a terrible flamingo character. He's absolutely the worst. You don't want to talk to him, but he exists. But then it's like, no, you guys are just, we're just going up to people. We're not like sneaking around or anything. It's just very obviously walking up to people, putting a mic in their face.
I mean, I was given permission, so
You were, absolutely. And I'm like, oh, okay. But then
And we
it's
got
like,
money from people. It's great.
I was expecting to like slow drip this one out for like what his motives are. He was like, you guys don't know what he's doing. He's like, he's a big bad that's just like a weird new threat. But like, no, okay, he'll explain everything. Of course he will. Like the idea of being on TV is too cool for him. And yeah, so we play a cool game.
It
It's
was a
great.
fantastic session. Thank you all so much.
thank you.
Thanks for
Yeah,
inviting
thanks.
us and hosting.
The next
You guys all did great.
game that we have
Yay.
Nika's gonna run the end thing again, and then
next game that we have coming up, what is that tomorrow? I know it's Karam and more than Karam. I kind of had it on Karam and Kui. That is what tomorrow's session is. The schedule has been posted. Sorry about the delay on that, you guys, but it is up now.
Yay.
So we're gonna heck off tonight, and we will see y'all tomorrow at 5 p.m. Pacific. Bye forever.
goodbye, everybody.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye bye.
In the celestial sea where stars align, Lockstitch will go where wonder lies. Its specialist crew a beacon of light will work to unravel secrets entwined. Lore with her care and lust for life, turning the cogs in her curious mind. Scales that tell stories of times long past. Deep in the echo, her interest is cast. Starborne Melody echoes in the deep. An ancient history, now our secrets to keep. Sail on a siren with feathers adorned, seeks to maintain her graceful form. A voice that weaves tales across the sky, relaying the dreams that never die. Rennick the brain with numbers and might, 4 arms, 4 eyes in the cosmic night. Stoic and with numerical grace, in Lockstitch's crew he has found his place. Starborne Melody echoes in the deep. An ancient history, now Alex and Castor, the skillful pair. Always the team with starry hair. With a bond so strong in the vast expanse